So I craft more pickaxes and I check my map to see where I can go for more exploration. So then I remove the temporary dirt that is surrounding Tempest, and I venture out into the wilderness. I gather resources as I go, and in the nearby forest, I encounter my first ent. These things spawn in forest biomes that have dark places, as well as breaking leaves or chopping trees. They can also be found from spawners underground. Also keep this in mind, every tree has a rare chance to spawn a huge Trent. Be very cautious and ready, cause it can happen anytime. I continue through and find another tiny zombie dungeon. Great! I put Tempest in a hole and I prepare for the encounter. I do something a bit silly and block myself with the zombies. What are you doing, Stingin? Why would you make this mistake? I think to myself. I continue fighting the zombies, including a one with vengeance, and a Philza zombie. I finish killing the rest using my great sword. One of the zombies drops a backpack, very awesome. Sometimes the loot in the backpacks are filled with starter loot, or sometimes you can find backpacks filled with great supplies, like recall potions or even diamonds, I believe. I use my levels and bring my attack skill up to level 14. And remember, diamond quality gear does require skill level 16. I hop onto Tempest and continue riding. I check my atlas and I go towards the unexplored plains area. I purify my canteen, and as I am drinking, there is a dragon nest right beside me. I panic and immediately ride the opposite way. I need to mark the dragon on the map, so I gain distance and I figure out where exactly it is. The next day, I relocate the dragon's nest, and then I hear the flapping noise. There she is, the ominous, the petrified, the ruler of the skies, Les Motra. Dragons claim everything around them as their territory. You step into their domain, you are playing with fire, literally. Now, there are also ice dragons in RLCraft. Of course, they only spawn in snowy or frozen biomes. Also, this might be me, but I think there are certain biomes that do not spawn dragons. But one thing for certain, there is one type of plains biome in RLCraft that is heavy in dragon spawns. That is the biome that has the stone spots and cobblestone rocks everywhere. I don't know exactly, but every time I am in one of those biomes, I see dragons left and right. Maybe it is just me. Anyways, I head into the little outpost, and you know what happens? Yeah, here is the footage. I called it. I seriously called it. Poop party. Now this is when I want to talk about Lycanite events. Keep this in mind or even write it down. I don't know. If you wait it out, after about 5 minutes, they will all despawn. Now if you run away and leave those chunks that spawned them, they will be frozen and be there until you come back. That is why it is best to just camp and wait until it is gone to then continue on. Or if you get to mid-game or end-game, you can just clean up and kill every single one. Anyways, I see a Kanba on fire, but the flame is purple. I will explain later what this means. Since I got a very easy event, you can see that I draw my bow and loose some arrows to kill a few and collect experience. I run into a zombie that drops another backpack. All the Kanba eventually despawn and I continue my adventure. I locate a water beacon. Then I find Les Motra again. This is the perfect time to mark her on my atlas. And hear me out, Les Motra, I am coming for you first. You are on my list, and it is not the nice list. I head back towards the little outpost because I realized I forgot to grab the loot out of the chest. The next day, I carefully ride past Les Motra and head back to base. I start by crafting a bunch more cabinets. Then I craft more stone pillars. I like to create depth in my base, so I use stone pillars for framework. And here it is, the start to the storage system. I like the symmetry and pattern I used. This will work for the time being. Also, I removed the flowers on the floor. No nymphs were spawning, sadly. The next day, I made some signs and began placing on my storage crates. They worked the best for organizing. Now I know about item frames, but here's a clip on why I don't use them. I think that one's inside my house. My item frames! Oh no. So yeah, Sharknado will make you regret using item frames. So I begin organizing. Alright, you caught me. I still wanted to use some item frames. They're just too good sometimes. I grab my backpack and I ride out. Do you remember that battle tower from before? It is time for battle. I get to the nearby village and I locate a marble deposit. This will be great for my build. I mark it on my atlas and I continue along. Then I locate another iron node. This time I collect all of the andesite. It will also be useful for my build. I can't find my horse Tempest, so I make a whistling sound. Default hotkey is numpad number 7. In case I did not say, to make your horse your personal one, default hotkey is numpad number 8. I then arrive at the battle tower. As soon as I get off Tempest, he disappears. Great job, Mojang. By the way, that same bug is still in the 1.18 update. Yeah, I tried to shoot the hippogriff, and it gets Tempest back. The next day, I then put Tempest in a hole again, and I create space in my inventory by throwing some of the things in the chest above. I begin my way into the battle tower. I fill in the holes of the tower so I do not fall through. It's an easy way to manage this dungeon. I begin fighting. Yeah, I hate those baby zombie suckers. I encounter a zombie that has burning thorns on his armor. I back up to heal immediately. More baby zombies spill out. I get some spectral silt from one of them. In case I didn't mention, spectral silt is an incredible resource. I always keep a hold if I find any. All of a sudden, a chupacabra comes out from the dungeon. These guys hit pretty hard. Always try to fight these guys in water. Seems to work best for me. I then run into my first combat with a blight. This is time to talk about what that purple fire is. When a mob becomes a blight, it is extremely powerful. The best ways to fight them is high defense and HP. When you hit a blighted mob, they have a chance to reflect heavy damage, so be very careful before you proceed to fight one. During the really early game, I'd like to try and block them in a hole so they can't get out. Now, if you run into a non-zombie blight, they are way harder to block in, so pretty much good luck. So here, I feel like I am strong enough, so I fight him head on, using my axe, since it is a single target weapon. I eliminate him. I swap back to my great sword. And look at all that XP. Fantastic. I head back up to clear some inventory space. Then I head right back down. I run into a cloaking, fiery zombie. Good stuff, right? I sneak around to grab my water source. I try to block them up, but another baby zombie prevents me. I feel like I'm in some danger here. I get back up to safety, and once I hit the fiery zombie, I immediately place water on myself to put out the fire. It is a little chaotic, but I hang on. Oh yeah, killing that Geist will create shadow fire, and it destroys all XP. That is a rip. I continue running this battle tower dungeon. I fight. There were some tough fights during this battle tower, but I feel like I managed pretty good. I finished killing all the mobs, and all I have left is the golem boss. Now this golem boss is extremely powerful. I won't fight him until I have at least protection 4, diamond armor, and a very strong weapon. I then start checking the treasure chests. I don't really find anything too exciting, but I do find another empty atlas. I like to combine with my other atlas, so I have an extra one just in case I lose it. Very handy. I place my cart down and begin throwing the loot inside. I kill a few mobs on the way, but I make it home. After I store my loot I got on my trip, I sleep the night and I wake up to a bunch of water elementals. It could be good to farm some of the charges for possibly a future weapon or mount. I then realize I have 9 heart crystal shards, so I craft and use a heart container. Now I think it is a good time to throw down some flowers, so I do just that. I really feel like this space is coming along nicely, but I need more gear, I need diamonds, and I need to start focusing on enchanting so we can really feel more comfortable out there in the wilderness. We got work to do.